Good evening, everyone. Will you please join me in the spirit of prayer for our invocation? Let us pray. Perhaps, O gracious one, this wondrous class has been gathered from all around this nation, from all around the world for such a time as this. There are traditions that believe that the circumstances and the signs around the birth of an individual may be harbingers of things to come in their lives. May this be true for those being born into the Penn community tonight. There is so much hurt and suffering in the world, and even today as we sit beneath this beautiful August evening in Philly, those in the southern part of Texas are navigating the effects of a hurricane and related flooding. May this class, in the wake of pain and fear, be full of compassion, be helpers and healers, rebuilders, soldiers of love. Yet we not only look down at rising floodwaters, but also up to celestial signs like last week's eclipse. May this class be a group of individuals that will shine in such a way as to cause all of us to stop and look with awe at the miracle that they are. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Please be seated.
Good evening. It's a beautiful night. Thank you, Chaplain Howard, for those words. Let's hear it, class of 2021. And if you looked at past tapes, not to be outdone, where are my transfer students? I'm Eric Furta, your Dean of Admissions and a proud member of the class of 1987. On behalf of the Office of Admissions, we are so excited to see all of you here together. From early decision, regular decision, the wait list, transfer admission, it's been a long road, campus visits, campus revisits. Of course, you are all here because you have accomplished a great deal already. In the classroom, on the playing fields, performing on stage, expressing yourself in the written and spoken word, and of course, in service to your community. You are an inspiration to us all. However, what truly inspires us is the potential and promise in front of you here at Penn. Individually, collectively, your Penn journey is just beginning. We are confident that you will find your way and thrive at Penn. And if you cannot find a way in the spirit of our founder, Benjamin Franklin, you all will make one. But you will not have to do this on your own. Utilize the resources and support around you. Take care of yourself, this is the parent in me, and take care of each other. It is now my honor to carry on a tradition of passing this Penn Relay's baton with the class of 2021 emblazoned and transfers into the caring hands of your president, Dr. Amy Gutmann.
Thank you, Dean Furta, and let's all thank Dean Furta. Here's to Dean Furta. Members of the class of 2021, welcome to Penn. This is the official welcome. Transfer students, where are you? Great call. You all came together from all 50 states, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, from all across Pennsylvania. Can I hear it for Pennsylvania? Philadelphia, right here in Philadelphia. From New York to California. From Miami. Oh, that was amazing. To Maine. Oh. And all of our hearts go out to everybody from Texas and in the path of Hurricane Harvey. Let's hear it for all of our brothers and sisters We will do everything we can, and we will mobilize when we can to help. You came also from 69 other countries from around the world, Canada to Mexico, Argentina and Brazil, Egypt and Poland, China, India, and the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is very understated, right? Dean Furta actually told me, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm sharing it with you, that we had expected 2 students from Westeros, but they had to cancel at the last minute. Something was happening in the north. So, but I am thrilled, sorry about that, I am thrilled, just thrilled that all of you are here. And here is a very special place. By great tradition, we inaugurate your journey right here on College Green and Locust Walk. When you walk through the heart of our campus, you see our love statue, which symbolizes what we stand for. We stand for love, not hate. We stand for inclusion, not exclusion. We stand for compassion, not contempt, empathy, not antipathy, understanding, not ignorance, and the elevation, not the degradation of the human mind and spirit. So let's hear it for what we, the University of Pennsylvania, stand for, and stand for proudly. We also stand for ideas freely expressed as long as they are peacefully expressed. Inclusion and the free exchange of ideas are foundational to innovative teaching and research, and also to every great democracy. And no democracy is great until it aspires to more and more inclusion and freedom. And no university is great unless we continue to aspire to more and more inclusion and freedom. Before this became Locust Walk, you may not know this, and the setting for the love statue, it was once a city street. The cars are long gone, but Locust Walk remains a vital thoroughfare for a different sort of traffic. It is a superhighway for ideas, many of which will be unfamiliar to you. They will be creative, uplifting, and challenging. You will have to overcome the discomfort of stepping out into new territory. Map makers of old feared it. They labeled it terra incognita, the land unknown. That was back when people viewed the world as flat. And I'm not talking flat screens like the ones throughout our new Hill House. Anyone here from Hill House? Let's hear it. Whoa! Those are some flat screens. You should have seen Hill House when I first came here. This is the new Hill House, and there we have it. Terra incognita takes on a different meaning at Penn. Here we're talking minds, not maps. When introduced to strange ideas, human beings tend to become fearful. We draw dragons at the edge of the known. That's because new ideas force us from our comfort zone, and they force us to discover more. You join a community dedicated to the energizing possibility of more discovery, more innovation, more caffeine too, more coffee. Always of great importance to university work. I hear some fans here of caffeine. Properly caffeinated, I meant properly motivated. You will energetically shake off what you think you know. You will discover truths about yourself and about the wider world that you couldn't have imagined before. And you'll be in excellent company. A few years ago, we established 2 unique student prizes that I want you to know right off the bat. They're given to graduating seniors who have amazingly original projects to put to work in the world. They're called the President's Engagement Prize and the President's Innovation Prize. And last year, as I was reviewing one team's proposal, I was literally moved to tears of joy. So I want to tell you a little bit about their project. Their project is called Lanzando Líderes, or Launching Leaders. And it partners with our local Latinx immigrant communities right here in Philadelphia, removing roadblocks to success, especially for young, bilingual, and bicultural students. All 3 team members were the first in their families to graduate college. 1 out of 8 of your class will be, like them, their mentor, Dean Tony Villarreal. Where's Tony Villarreal? Stand up, Dean Tony Villarreal. Dean of our nursing school. Can I hear it for our nurses? You will be, 1 out of 8 of you will be, like these 3 students, like Dean Villarreal, and like me, a first-generation college graduate. Can we give a big hand for our first-gen students here? The founders of Launching Leaders call their mission Pursuing El Camino, the pathway. It's just one example of many amazing pen-propelled projects that venture into terra incognita, uncharted territory. They all build on independent research and interdisciplinary studies that you too are about to pursue. Penn students explore unknown territory to enrich their knowledge, and often they improve the world. Now, some recent news out of Penn perfectly illustrates the power of new ideas. Just weeks ago, a new medical era dawned. An expert panel unanimously approved what soon will be the first ever FDA approval of a gene therapy treatment for cancer. When Penn faculty first proposed that our own immune systems might be directed to destroy cancer cells, they were met with skepticism. And that's one reason I'm telling you this story. But those Penn pioneers in what now has come famously to be called immunotherapy persisted, and we supported their work. It turns out, as the world now knows, they were right. The skeptics were wrong. Employing Carl June's path-breaking research, great doctors and nurses at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and our hospital of the University of Pennsylvania have saved many lives, including that of Emily Whitehead. Let me just quickly tell you Emily's story. When most of you were in middle school, can you remember that? About 6 years ago. Emily was 6 years old, and she had acute lymphoblastic leukemia. As her parents knew, she was days away from dying. Thanks to this revolutionary new treatment, Emily is now a vibrant, cancer-free, 12-year-old middle schooler like you were back then. That's one of our Penn Med helicopters coming in, perhaps, to save another life. Just happens to be there. Saving Emily's life was a collaborative effort, which began by ensuring that a new and then unpopular idea got a fair shot at being considered. That's how discoveries are made, innovations are born, and sometimes lives are saved. As with all things worth doing in life, there's a secret to discovering and innovating well. And I'll share it with you now. To make, I guess it isn't a secret really, to make the absolute most of your time at Penn, you must make it your business to engage with the spectacularly diverse community around you. Engaging with the rich perspectives and experience that surrounds you is key to making great leaps of discovery and innovation. And it begins quite quickly. First, we've got to turn off Netflix. That's, I'm a binge watcher, so I always have to tell myself. So first, to begin discovering new ground, you turn off Netflix. And what you actually do is you start with a touch of humanity. An extended hand, a shared smile. We feel connection. We feel empathy. And we begin to understand the perspectives, the outlooks, the experiences of others. We learn new things together. From there, our efforts can spread to our communities, to our countries, and to our world. That's how it begins. That's how you venture into terra incognita. Not just you do in your classrooms, but even more importantly, in connecting with people all around you. And that's why I began by just highlighting some of the amazing places that all of you come from. And that is only the tip. The deep part are our experiences and our perspectives. Now, I realize that may be a lot to ask you during your first week on campus. You can't connect to everybody right away. And this place is so big that none of us will ever feel that we've connected with everybody we wish we could. But we can certainly get started. And I propose we do so right now. It's a great tradition. So listen up. In a moment, I want everybody to stand, look around, find somebody you haven't met yet, say hi, introduce yourself, say where you're from, and then take out your phones and take a selfie. No exceptions, okay? Even me. Okay, you ready? We got to do this fast. Up, find someone you haven't met, introduce yourself, take a selfie. Okay. Okay, I got a selfie with someone from Hong Kong, India, South Texas, and many other places that I can't quite now remember. Here's what I'd like you to do. First of all, that was your welcome to Penn, the only Ivy League university with built-in mandatory selfie breaks, so don't forget it. Yeah. Okay. You now have the perfect memento of the energy that comes from stepping into the unknown. I do too. Connect and swap your photos on Instagram and Facebook. And if you meet again and build on this first experience, email me and share your stories. I'd love to hear how you connected. Don't forget, president@upenn.edu. I want to hear. Class of 2021 and transfer students, the more you actively engage with diverse ideas, the more life-changing your experience here will be. Mark my words. It'll also be challenging. Remember, we are here to help. We're here to help you succeed both intellectually and as whole people. We are absolutely committed to helping you succeed. So venture boldly into the unknown. Engage with the widest range of ideas and individuals, and never hesitate to ask for help. And from one binge watcher to another, go ahead and make sure you squeeze in time for whatever helps you relax. I plan on getting caught up on Stranger Things before the next season, and maybe Master of None, I love it, and not to mention Game of Thrones. So have fun and welcome to Penn!
Birds fly, return finally free. Patience lost, I began to lose me. My advice will be take a breath. Close your eyes and take a step. I wasn't scared, I fought this on my own. You pulled me down and I let you go. I told you I would prove you wrong. And now I'm here and I'm standing strong. Hold tight, roller coaster, here we go. Class of 2021, I'm looking at you. Day one, I said go for me. One box ticket, got a lot to be. I wasn't scared to fuck this on my own. You pulled me down and I let you go. I told you I would prove you wrong. And now I'm here and I'm standing strong.
Good evening. As Provost, Penn's new Provost, also known as the Chief Academic Officer, it's my great pleasure to welcome you this evening. Of all the wonderful things you've heard about this place, yes, they're all true, every single one of them, there's perhaps one aspect you haven't heard about, because it's impossible to truly convey what it's like to be new, how it feels to be in a new place, how to forge connections with new people around you, even how to remember everyone's name, right? Now, I'm speaking, of course, about myself. Like you, I'm new. Not new to Penn, but in a new role as you are. Also like you, this is my first convocation as Provost. Now, hopefully, unlike you, it won't be my last. We, all of you, and I, are starting this new voyage together. Now, I can't claim to know exactly how you're feeling, but I can imagine a close approximation. I went to college. Now, I know that was in the dark ages, but, you know, I went to college. And I'm also the parent of 2 daughters. One is a junior in college right now, and the other one is a high school senior. So let's just say I've gotten quite an education from them. What I'd like to share with you this evening is not necessarily advice, how it was back in the day, or for that matter, some profound nugget of Provostial insight. Remember, I just started. Instead, it's part observation, looking out, and part reflection, looking inward. It's some context on what a Penn education means and how we can help one another as we begin this journey of discovery together. The first observation, we're going through a difficult, contentious period of human history. You might have noticed that, right? You might have noticed, maybe. These last few weeks, especially, have shown that finding common ground seems more challenging than ever. As a professor of law, I train my students that to effectively make their side of an argument, they need to understand the other sides, and many other sides. Here, we don't ask nor expect that you agree. You may disagree vehemently, and that's fine. But we do expect that you listen thoughtfully and consider carefully. We don't ask that you change your firmly held views, but that you be willing to examine them. And that you respect that your professors, classmates, roommates, or dorm mates may not look like, act like, think like, or have been brought up like you. And why would you want to go to a place where they had? I know I wouldn't. These diverse interactions with a range of people will help you navigate Penn and the future beyond Penn, a future of doorways and windows, not mirrors. They will be as much a part of your education as anything you learn in class. A second observation, our words matter. And not just what we say, but how we say it. Penn thrives on vibrant, open discussion. That's how we tackle difficult issues and resolve conflict. No one expects you to tiptoe around on eggshells here, afraid to speak your mind. Make your voice heard. If something strikes you as unfair, say so. But keep in mind, we can speak our minds while also being mindful. Let me be clear, mindful is not self-censorship. But it does require self-reflection. How might my words be interpreted by someone who's not like me? No one you meet at Penn had the same exact set of experiences you've had. But that doesn't mean that they can't or shouldn't contribute to the discussion. That discussion is what makes this campus a community. I won't lie to you. Balancing open expression and mindfulness can be precarious, especially today, which is precisely why we seek to do so. Because it is hard, it forces us to think carefully about what we say, what we value, and what we stand for, about the person we see in the mirror. But don't be dissuaded by difficulty. If the answer was easy, well, this wouldn't be Penn, and you wouldn't be here with us. From my perspective, I will continue to speak out against hatred and intolerance in all forms. That's who I am, and that's who we are as a community. As I said, these are difficult times. The ground is shifting. Hourly, it seems sometimes. When the ground does shift, trust yourself. You've gotten this far already. But don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what we're here for, all of us. Ask anyone in my office. I'm always yelling for help. Well, okay, sometimes, not always. A third and final thought. You and I may be at the start of our Penn education, but everyone here is still learning. In his classic book, The Discoverers, the historian Daniel Boorstin explored humankind's relentless pursuit to make sense of the world and our place in it. He wrote that the greatest obstacle to discovering the shape of the earth, the continents, and the oceans was not ignorance. It wasn't ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. The illusion of knowledge. Your next 4 years will be filled with the acquisition of knowledge, with your discovery of the shape of the world and your place in it. If at the end of that time you believe you have nothing left to learn, well, then we will have failed, but I know we won't. Education may have a beginning, but it doesn't have an end. Each of us has something to offer here, and we all have much we can learn, not least about ourselves. It's more than just what we can do, it's who we are, who's in that mirror, and who we can become, what we see through that window. Here we are all discoverers, and new worlds await. That is also part of your education and mine. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get started. Members of class of 2021, welcome to Penn.
somebody to love. Each morning I get up, I die a little, can barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry, Lord, what you're doing to me. I spent all of my years believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, 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 anybody find me somebody to love. Can somebody find me? 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 I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end, I take my hard-earned pay all on my own. I get down on my knees and I start to pray, and the tears run down from my eyes. Oh, somebody, 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 anybody find me somebody to love. Every day, I try and try, but everyone wants to put me down. They say I'm going crazy. They say I've got water in my brain, got no common sense, I got nobody left to believe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Find me, can somebody find me? 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 Can somebody find me?
Got no feel, I got no rhythm, I just keep losing my beat. I'm okay, I'm alright, I ain't gonna face no defeat.
I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free, Lord. Find me somebody to love. 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 Somebody, somebody, somebody to love. Somebody, somebody, somebody to love. Somebody, 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 anybody find me somebody to love.
Good evening. On behalf of Penn Alumni, I want to welcome you, the class of 2021. Convocation represents coming together as one Penn community to celebrate the beginning of your journey here. The procession, the regalia, the formality of this event is intentional, designed to make us pause to recognize that by joining the Penn family, you're becoming part of a tradition of academic excellence, innovation, interdisciplinary learning, civic engagement, and inclusion. Penn Alumni has a voice in Convocation because we want to amplify the special connection between where you sit and where I stand. I attended Penn from 1980 to 1984. When I was a student here, I not only learned the subjects in my major, I also learned some lessons in life: how to cultivate and maintain friendships, how to balance work and play, how to heal from hurt and disappointment, and how to turn challenges into your passion. In 1981, while I was a sophomore living in the W.B. Du Bois College House, there were a series of racial incidents against some black students living there. Friends of mine were given death threats, and at one point the building had to be evacuated because of a bomb threat. The perpetrators were from a fraternity on campus, and the university acted swiftly and intentionally to discipline them and rally the community around a positive message of intolerance to hate and the beauty of diversity. I don't tell you this story to scare you or to give you a negative impression of Penn. Rather, it's because of this incident and the way the university responded, as well as the many wonderful experiences I had here, that I was inspired to stay engaged after graduation. My initial form of alumni engagement was leading an organization called the James Brister Society that is designed to improve the quality of campus experience for students, faculty, and administrators of color. Over the 20 years it has existed, JBS has made many positive contributions to the university, like providing emergency financial resources for eligible students and facilitating awards for student leaders of color, then having their names published in the graduation program, which did not occur before JBS. I led this organization for a number of years and was inspired by the consistent support of Dr. Gutmann and Penn alumni, as well as JBS's impact on the students. With every challenge comes an opportunity. The bomb threat that occurred when I was a student at Penn, while frightening and chilling, helped to ignite my passion for diversity and inclusion. It gave me an opportunity to speak truth to power and make a difference. I also share that incident with you so you know that despite what is going on in the world today, despite what will occur in your world once you start school, you can find your truth and passion and make a difference. People who attend Penn are inspired to maintain a lifelong connection with the university. That is why Penn alumni continues to thrive and grow over generations. Penn alumni is here to support and encourage you while you are here and after you graduate. Sweeten Alumni House is across the walk, Locust Walk from here. The door is always open and you are always welcome. In closing, I want to give you some words of advice. Stay present because the time you are at Penn will go by fast. Stay balanced in mind, body, and spirit. You should work hard in school, but give yourself time to rest, play, and renew. Cherish and celebrate the beauty of interpersonal, verbal communication, and develop and maintain your friendships in person and not through your devices. Be brave, speak truth to power, and remain true to yourself. Penn alumni is here for you now. We will be there for you later, and we are behind you all the way. Thank you and good luck.
Let's give another round of applause for our wonderful trustee and alumni representative, Claire Lomax, and our wonderful provost, Wendell Pritchett. Woo! Thank you for those words. Now I'd like to call up here our senior class president, Michaela Reynolds, to present the flag of your class, the class of 2021. It will proudly join the flags of previous classes at official university events and future alumni celebrations. Michaela, come on up. So it's now my privilege to declare the start of the, wrap your minds around this, 278th year of the University of Pennsylvania. Let's give it up for 278 years. And I look forward to celebrating every step along the way of your journey and the journey you're about to take at Penn. But I also look forward to something far more immediate, which is dessert. You've heard about dessert here, right? So please join me right after the ceremony under the tent on Wynn Common for dessert right behind College Hall. But before we process, let's once again thank the Counterparts Glee Club and the Penn Band for helping to make this so special. My final request to you this evening is to stand with us and join in singing the Penn anthem, the red and blue. It's on the back of your tags if you don't know it already. And feel free to read it and join with us in singing the red and blue.